Most people fail at keeping finches before they even realize they've started. It's not genetics, it's not bad luck, it's this: the work nobody wants to do. Cleaning, scrubbing, replacing every single day. Because the truth is, neglect builds up fast, faster than you think. A dirty water dish, spoiled seed, bacteria you can't even see, and suddenly your birds are stressed, getting sick, or worse. Good husbandry isn't optional, it's everything. This right here determines whether your birds thrive or slowly decline. And when it comes to breeding, there's no room for shortcuts. Weak environment, weak results. Strong environment, strong healthy chicks. So if you're serious about finches, if you actually care about them, this is where it starts. Not with buying more birds, not with bigger cages or fancier bird rooms, but with the discipline to show up and do this every single day. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are cleaning the quarantine room. Now, a lot of you guys may recognize this room, but not as the quarantine room. You may recognize it as my old bird room. For years, this was the place where I would breed all of my birds. Eventually, I ended up building the new bird room, and this turned into a quarantine room, which is where I bring every single new species, and before introducing it into the bird room or into the aviaries or flights, they are quarantined here for 40 days, and once they pass their quarantine, then they're able to make it into my breeding program. Now, I have to admit, this room is dirty. And if you have a bird room, you know how dirty bird rooms can get. You have to be on top of them. And when you have multiple bird rooms, multiple flights, multiple aviaries, it could get, or it can get, a little bit difficult to upkeep them. So today we're gonna show this room some love. And the plan is, well, clean all of the cages, clean all of the trays, feed all of the birds. And one of the biggest things that I'm gonna be doing here is getting rid of all of these cages that are on this side. And the reason why I'm getting rid of the cages on this side is because I plan on building flights. But before I can start building the flights, I have to feed all the birds and clean the trays. So while I do that, you guys are gonna get to see the old bird room. This was one of my earlier bird rooms. Not the very beginning, but a real stepping stone in the process. By this point, I already had experience. But this is where things started to become more intentional, less trial and error and more understanding. The routines were consistent, the systems made more sense, and I was starting to pay closer attention to the details that really mattered. Because when you spend enough time around these birds, you start to notice things you didn't notice before. How they respond to space, to light, to cleanliness, to structure. And once you see these patterns, you start making adjustments. Not big dramatic changes, but small calibrated improvements. Refining the layout, improving the flow, making things easier to maintain and better for the birds at the same time. And that's what this room represents. A point where things started to click, where experience turned into understanding and understanding started shaping better decisions. Every upgrade I've made since then, it all builds on what I've learned here. This wasn't the start, and it certainly wasn't the ending. As many of you guys know, I ended up building a bigger bird room. And it all came from the experiences and knowledge that I learned over the years while using this particular room. All right, guys, so all of the birds have been fed. All of the birds have clean trays for every single one of these cages. There's still a couple other things that I have to do, like pressure wash the cages that the birds are in right now to finally get that final clean feeling. But I can't do that until I build the new flights. All right, guys, so yesterday we had some technical difficulties with the camera. It died on me, so I have no footage of me building the flights yesterday, but this is what I've gotten done so far. This is the framework for the new flights. Now, ideally, the plan was to have 4 individual sections. So for example, this spot right here, this one, number 2, number 3, and number 4. This is 12 feet long. And then every single individual flight was gonna be 3 feet wide, which is perfect for them. But after seeing it now built, I kinda wanna make just 2 flights. That way they're bigger. We can have a male section on this side and a female section on this side. And then the flights will be much larger because it'll be, rather than 3 feet wide, it'll be 6 feet by 5 feet by 6 feet. So they'll have a whole lot more space And I think it's gonna work out better that way. So here's the plan now. I have to finish this wall right here, so I'll show you guys how it is that I built this. Pretty much everything that you see here is built in sections. We have the front wall, we have the back wall, the ceiling, and the floor. Anytime you bring a new bird home, quarantine is a must. Even if they look perfectly healthy, birds are extremely good at hiding illness. By the time you notice something's wrong, it could already be spreading to your entire flock. That's why every new bird here goes through a full 40-day quarantine before joining the aviary. It gives them time to adjust, reduces stress, and most importantly, lets me monitor their health closely, everything from eating to behavior. Because at the end of the day, one sick bird can impact your entire breeding program. So quarantine might feel like a delay, but it's actually one of the best ways to protect your birds long term. I'm finally starting to make some progress on this. It's looking a little bit better. Everything's completely framed in. We have the mesh on the sides, on the top, and on the back. Now all we're missing is the frame for the doors and the smaller little doors where we can go ahead and throw birds inside. But we got both sides completely done. Day number 3. I have spent way more time in here than I would like to admit. And I am hopeful that today is the last day and I get to finish all of these flights by today. And when I say all of these flights, it's just 2 flights that are very big. I've made a little bit of progress. Like I said, here are the beams that connect from one side to the other. More support beams. There's gonna be a small little door right here, which is gonna be, I need 2 doors. I need a small door for releasing birds into the flight, and then I need a big door at the bottom for making my way into the flights to clean. So I need to build this door on this side, but this one over here already has the door completely built. I haven't attached it yet. I need to put the hinges and attach it and all that, but you get the idea of what the door is gonna look like. Eventually, if I ever decide to split these in half and go with the original plan, which was having 4 individual flights, I'll have to make more doors for these other sections. But for the time being, let's keep it simple. 2 large flights. It's gonna be a whole lot easier. So let's get to work. Let's finish this by today because today is Friday and I need a video for Saturday. So hopefully this will be tomorrow's video. While I'm putting this flight cage together, I'm not just thinking about space. I'm thinking about control and observation. In quarantine, this setup has to let me monitor every bird closely without causing extra stress. Enough room for them to move and stay active, but simple enough that I can easily keep everything clean and see my changes right away. Every perch, every feeder, every detail is intentional. The goal here isn't just comfort, it's visibility. I need to be able to spot small signs early, whether it's changes in droppings, behavior, or energy. Because in quarantine, the little things matter. Catching something early can make all the difference, not just for the birds, but for the entire aviary. All right, one more door to go, and we can officially go ahead and start enclosing this. This is the last door that we're building for these flights for today. Then we can start putting the mesh, and they'll be completely covered. But we need to take a quick break. We have to go inside, and I want to show you guys something very special that I think you guys are gonna like. Check these guys out. If you've been following the channel, you've probably seen the video of how these little guys, I was able to hatch them in the incubator. And these are the plum head chicks. And they are extremely hungry and overdue for their meal. So let's go ahead and feed them. These guys are about 2 weeks old now, and they actually come from eggs that I incubated myself. The last couple of weeks have been intense. Feeding around the clock, barely any breaks, just making sure they're getting everything they need. It's a lot of work, and honestly, it can be quite exhausting, but moments like this make it worth it. You can see the progress every single day. They're getting bigger, stronger, and more active. It's proof that all that time and effort is paying off. This is the part of the process you don't always see, but it's one of the most rewarding parts of what I do. So we got one of the flights done. Everything is completely sealed in. We got the smaller door to release birds on the inside. And then we have the big door to be able to get inside of the flight. Now here's the deal. Inside of this flight now, we have to make some purchase right here. So I'm going to take you guys outside and show you exactly the style of perches that I plan on building for this flight. All right, so here's the plan for the perches. We have these 1x2s. I got 2 of them here. Every 4 inches, I've made a marking. We're going to drill a hole in those markings, and then we're going to put these little perches in between one and another, compact them together, put it inside of the flight, and that's going to be our perches. Now that the holes have been cut on both sides of these, we can go ahead and put these little sticks in here. We push them in. As you can see, it stays in there. Then we grab the other side, push it in, and then we just continue all the way down and hang this up, and this will be the perches. Finally, the flights are finished. Everything is completely enclosed. Got the doors, the latches, everything is completely done. Now I can go ahead and start releasing the birds inside of the flights. As you can see, I've already started releasing some males in here, and those are the perches. Let me show you guys how the perches work. So that is how the perches are gonna work. They got plenty of perches there, food and water on this side, and plenty of space. All right guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Flights are done, birds are inside both of the flights. I still have a couple more birds that I have to separate from this side, bring them into their flights over here so that I can start pressure washing the cages. But that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'm on to my next project. And if you want to find out what that project is, there's only one way: subscribe. We'll see each other in the next one. Bye.